Hi, my name is Shanne, and welcome to this safe space that I have created where we can discuss openly and without judgment the beautiful chaos that is living with breast cancer. In this video, I'm going to be answering the most commonly asked question: how did I find out I had breast cancer? It's definitely not a straightforward answer, so I'm going to walk you through the 3 instances that eventually culminated in my diagnosis. Let's go all the way back to 2014 when I felt a lump in my breast for the first time. So I was admittedly freaked out by it because you feel a breast lump and you immediately think, oh my gosh, I have breast cancer. Bearing in mind, I have like zero family history of breast cancer or any type of cancer for that matter. So my freak out wasn't exactly warranted at that point in time, but I was ignorant. So I went to see a specialist, very good doctor. She was very friendly, very knowledgeable, and I told her about the lump that I felt. She recommended that I do an ultrasound, so we did that. So the results came back and it wasn't a malignant lump. It was actually benign. So she did, explain to me that if I really want to have it removed for my peace of mind, I can do that. Naturally, I said yes because, I felt like the lump was actually protruding because of where it was in the breast, and I didn't want it there. In retrospect, it was probably just me overthinking everything and thinking that everybody can see this lump in my breast, but that really wasn't the case. So we went ahead with the surgery. She actually performed a lumpectomy, which is essentially where they remove the lump and some surrounding tissue. The surgery itself was pretty seamless. I actually went in and was out on the same day. It was a day surgery and pretty simple, to be quite honest. I honestly think the worst part about it was having to manually remove the stitches, because at the time they didn't have the stitches that would dissolve on their own. So I think that was the worst part. That was extremely painful, and I have a high pain tolerance, so that says a lot. So they sent the specimen for testing and we found out that it's actually a phyllodes tumor. And these are very rare tumors that account for less than 1% of breast tumors, and they're characterized by their rapid risk of recurrence, rapid growth rates, and they could either be benign, borderline, or malignant. So let's fast forward to 2017. And remember, I just said that the phyllodes tumors have a high risk of recurrence. Here I am getting ready to go off to university because I received a partial scholarship, which I was so happy about. Okay. And I feel another lump. Naturally, I go to the doctor, in preparation for going to university, you have to do these medical exams. So I went to, it was a different doctor this time, but I did explain to her that, hey, I had this lump in 2014 and I feel another one. So she did explain that, hey, you don't necessarily have to remove every lump that you find in your breast. So when you say something like that to an impressionable young woman who has complete tunnel vision aimed solely towards the journey she's about to begin, it's a recipe for disaster. So call me negligent or whatever. I'd say I was ambitious because, like I said, I have a partial scholarship and I needed to go to university to, do the thing. So off to Barbados I go to study, and about a year in, I'm, getting good grades, making friends within the Caribbean diaspora, performing at different events. I'm just living my best life, okay? The tumor starts growing. And I only noticed it one random day in January of 2019. I was looking at myself in the mirror and I noticed that my right breast was significantly larger than my left, which is saying a lot because, full disclosure, I'm a double D cup. So I immediately call my sister, who's a nurse. Okay, so that's obviously the first call I'm going to make. And she's like, okay, go to campus clinic, see the doctor, explain what's happening, etc., etc. So I'm like, okay, cool, 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 cool. So I go to campus clinic and I see the doctor and she looks at me like, girl. Okay, she didn't say girl, but she was like, your breasts are lopsided. Lopsided? I don't even use that word. I have never had that word used in relation to anything on my body. Anyway, she refers me to a surgeon who's had experience with my type of situation. Now, she was very direct. She said, this is what you have, and this is the solution. So I'm like, mastectomy? Oh, okay, let's do it. I was so ready to just say off with the breast. If the breast is a problem, then let's get rid of her immediately. Now, of course, it wasn't just my decision to make. I did have to consult my family, and they were not as receptive to the idea of a mastectomy as I was. They thought it was a bit radical. So, for their peace of mind, as well as mine, I guess, we decided to get a second opinion. So here I am traveling to Martinique, this foreign country. I wasn't entirely scared because I am fluent in French. That's what I major in at university, French and Spanish. So a language barrier really wasn't of any concern to me. So here I am at my consultation. In walks this doctor. We discussed my case both in French and in English. Thankfully, he was bilingual, so that helped, clarify any concerns or anything I didn't understand in the moment. So we wrap up our consultation, and in the end, he's like, okay, Madame James, that's me. Nous allons simplement enlever le tumeur et c'est fini. Parce que vous êtes trop jeune et, he's explaining, I'm so young. So young. I'm gonna hear that a lot. You're gonna hear that so much. Every single person is like, you're so young. So I'm like, okay, no mastectomy. He's like, nope. Okay, say less. So I have that surgery done the summer of 2019, so around July. Pretty seamless again. They did the tumorectomy, which is where they remove the tumor as well as any surrounding tissue. And then I was back at school for the first semester of my final year of university. So that is September 2019. By October 2019, we're talking the same year, the tumor started growing again. At this point, I am frustrated. I'm also a little annoyed that I didn't just go ahead with the mastectomy like my gut, my instincts told me to. I was only able to return to Martinique in December of 2019. And then because of the, it's holiday season, I was only able to schedule an MRI for the end of January 2020. By that time, I have the MRI done in January, and then I'm returned to school because, okay, it's still happening. I still need to finish my degree, okay? At this point, the tumor is growing rapidly. And this is also like peak pandemic times. Like, this is the initial stages of the pandemic. And here I am, trapped in Barbados. But that wasn't such a bad thing because I was actually able to go back to the doctor, the very first doctor I saw, who told me mastectomy or nothing. And I was able to have the surgery done because it was urgent. Trigger warning, the tumor grew so much it started eroding my skin. So I go to Queen Elizabeth Hospital and I have the procedure done, the mastectomy that is. It's, again, seamless surgery, no difficulties. They got clean margins and I'm living, And that's when things got ugly. When I went for my follow-up a month after my surgery, I saw the doctor, and when I heard the words, the tumor became malignant, I actually had one of those moments, like in the movies where they give people bad news and all the sounds, like voices become all muffled, and that is how I felt in that moment. And it was never a direct, you have cancer. And I think to a certain extent that made it easier to internalize. So thank you to my doctor for being cryptic but simultaneously direct, I guess. In my next video, I will be going more in depth about what it's like to have a rare tumor and the treatment options made available to me since my cancer is now classified as stage 4. In the meantime, ladies, check your breasts, and fellas, check your pecs. I'm sorry, I had to say it, but you know, please, I'm ashamed. Love and light to you all. Until next time.